welcome to your next Python tutorial. Okay, now I've definitely lost track of the numbers, but whatever. Last time we talked about the for loop. Today we're going to talk about something called a range. Right? So basically, it's like last time when we talked about for loop, we made a random list and then we browsed through that list using the loop. Now, not always are you going to have a list, but you might still want to run a loop a certain number of times. So, what do you do in that case? You can always say for x in range and say you want to run this loop 10 times, not 100 times, 10 times, right? And that's it, and then you just print x. So it's like saying for x, which is a variable, in a range of 10. Okay, I'll just run it and you'll see what exactly happens and it'll be easier to explain then. Alright, so see what happened was it went 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So basically, when I said for x in range, it kind of created like a list. You can think of it that way. It kind of created a list containing the numbers 0 to 10. So it just ran 10 times. And as you know, computers start counting at 0 and then they do not include the last number. So that's what happened here. Now you could do anything with this actually, like you could just be printing Crazy Codigo is the best YouTube channel of all time, right? So what you're doing in the loop is pretty much completely not related to the variable x itself. The x is only there so that the loop runs 10 times. So look what happens. There, see, it's the best YouTube channel of all time. I mean, it's pretty true though, right? It is the best YouTube channel of all time. People just don't know about it yet. We're gatekeeping, aren't we? So, okay, that's what you can do with range. Now, let's just go back to the earlier statement because I want to show you a few other things that you can do. So, for this, what if we use like two numbers? What if I did 2, 10? Then that basically becomes this is the starting point and this is the end point. So the loop will run from 2 to 10, which means it will print numbers from 2 to 9 because obviously the last number is not included there, right? So that done. It's all pretty simple so far. Now there's another thing which you can do, which is you could use three numbers. So like, you might ask a question as to what three numbers could mean, and you might think it means start, middle, end, but that's not quite it. The first number is your starting point. The second number is your end point, and its last number is your increment. So it basically says start at 5, go all the way to 40, and step up by 5 each time you run. So then when you run this, you get 5, 10, 15, 20, so on and so forth. Right? Pretty simple. Okay, I think we've got some time here, so I'm just gonna introduce you to a second type of loop that we use a lot in Python, and it's called while loop. Alright, so the while loop does not really belong in like ranges. It's not like while this variable is in this variable, please run this loop. It doesn't work like that. It works more like a condition of, greater than, smaller than, stuff like that. So maybe if you had a number, right, number 10, and you said while number is less than 10, keep printing number. Actually, let's set this to maybe 4, right? Keep printing number. So what happens is it's basically saying while, isn't this like, doesn't this sound like basic English, right? While number is less than 10, print number. Sounds pretty simple, easy to understand. And what this will do is it will keep running 4, right? It will keep running, because at no point does this condition ever become untrue. And in this case, what we achieve is called an infinite loop, a loop that keeps on running forever because the condition of the loop never becomes false. So I just ran an infinite loop and it somehow worked, but I do not recommend ever actually running an infinite loop on your computer intentionally, because it's really bad for your computer and sometimes your computer can crash. So what can we do? Maybe like every time we run the loop, we should print number and then we should increment it by 1. Maybe, that sounds like a pretty good idea, doesn't it? So how do we do that? We say number plus equal 1. What this statement is saying is, while number is less than 10, I want you to print number, and after printing number, I want you to take the variable number and add 1 to it. So the first time this loop runs, number will be equal to 4, which is less than 10, and number will be printed. Then 1 will be added to number and it will become 5. So then again it will be compared 5, and then again it will turn into 6. Then 6 will be compared, so on and so forth until we get to 9. Okay, see 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then at 9 it stops, because after that it becomes 10, and 10 is not less than 10, 10 is equal to 10. So then this condition becomes false and the loop breaks. And then it starts to run whatever you will write from the 5th line over here, which is right now blank. So then the program is finished. Alright, all of that is pretty simple. So today we learned about range and we learned about while. I will put the links to the website in the description box below. Check out the last tutorial if you haven't already. And I'll see you next Wednesday with a new tutorial. See ya. Bye.